Howdy, hotshots. It's the Dividend Daddy, your favorite, not a financial advisor with not financial advice. We are in for a world of hurt. Sounds like the military meeting that we were expecting today is mostly just for streamlining operations, making it leaner and quicker and faster, or at least that's the story that we've been told about the meeting. But the other thing that is looming on the horizon that is going to just wreck us is the potential for a government shutdown tonight. It seems like they've hit some gridlock, and it's likely that we are going to run out of funding at 12:01 a.m. tonight. This is pretty bad. This could be the October surprise, like a black swan type event. We've already been teetering on the brink of collapse. Housing market is hurting. They've been having to manipulate numbers for a couple of years now just to make it look as though it's doing okay. But buyer demand is way down because inflation is way up and people can't even afford to eat at McDonald's. So McDonald's is having to go and revamp their menu and try to come back to the bargain arena because they were getting out of hand. I'm paying 3 or 4 times as much for chicken breasts and chicken thighs and ground beef as you used to have to. People can't afford to live. And that's evidenced by the fact that Las Vegas is a ghost town. Okay, Disney World is a ghost town. Like hardly anybody is going to these places that used to just be packed with people looking for a way to spend their extra cash. They're just looking for a way because it's burning a hole in their pocket and they don't stock up on Pall Malls and cheap vodka like me and Gag do. Okay, waiting for a rainy day. They're off blowing their money at Disneyland and in Las Vegas, just gambling it away, thinking they're going to be the next ones to hit it rich, even though we know those casinos were built on the hopes and dreams of every gambler coming in there that they think is going to strike it rich, but really the house always wins. It's the same with the stock market in some ways, but at least we get a little piece of the pie. And so what I want to say is keep your powder dry. Hold on to some of it. Don't, temper yourself. Put a little bit in at a time. I'm not saying to stay out of the markets. I can't give you advice anyway, but I'm not saying that I'm staying out of the markets completely, but man, I don't want to be all in at the top and then not have any dry powder to average down at the bottom. With the government shutdown coming, a lot of industries are going to be hurt. Okay, the travel industry loses like $1 billion a week during a shutdown. You've got federal employees, and the federal government's the largest employer in the whole United States. You got federal employees. Won't be spending any money. They're going to be eating rice and beans because they're not getting paid, and everybody lives paycheck to paycheck. So as soon as they miss one paycheck, they're damn near out on the streets. This is potentially the thing that puts us over the edge. You got troops deployed to Portland. You got all the top brass at a meeting in Quantico over who knows what, trying to take DEI out of the military or whatever, telling them to get on the ball. But who knows what else was discussed at this time. So there's still a possibility that something comes out that just makes a nosedive in the market. Silver is down today for some reason. I don't even know why. You would think that people making a flight to safety because they're unsure about this meeting in Quantico and they're unsure about the government shutdown and right? There's a lot of uncertainty in the market and during a time when valuations are as high as they've been in decades. So we definitely don't want to just be headlong into something. We don't want to be utilizing margin to 100% because as soon as we get margin calls, then our stuff gets liquidated no matter what. And if you do it in a free fall, you're going to be ass out. So use caution. That's all I'm saying. It could become a really good time for our covered call funds because if things are rocky and things are going down, our dividends will compensate us for that to some degree. I'm not saying they're immune from downturns. We've seen that they aren't, okay? But we can be utilizing the dividends to buy in at those lower prices and help us cost average down, along with shoveling in our dry powder when things are lower, okay? Because you make your money when you buy something. You don't make your money when you sell it. You make your money when you buy it, because if you buy it wrong, you're never going to be able to sell it and make money. Now, I'm not saying to get out of the market completely because I've done that before and really screwed myself, okay? Because the government can't keep their hands out of shit. They can't keep their hands out of your pocket, and they can't keep their fingers out of the market. So you never know what they're going to do. So you don't want to be completely sidelined, okay? But you don't want to be all in at riskier times either. And so, the smart money, we've seen the smart money has been so-called smart money. Really, they're just in the know. It's easy to be smart when you have all the information. It's hard to be smart when you're, picking up the crumbs that are swept off the table. So you can be as smart as you want to be, and you're still not going to be smart money if you're not in the know. But a lot of these CEOs and COOs and CFOs have been selling off their shares in all these companies that are at all-time highs. And they're doing that because they think something's coming. They're not doing it because they think it's going to keep booming. You don't sell if you think it's going to keep booming. These people don't need the money to live on. They're just playing market games. And so I just want you to be careful. Take care of yourself. Look out for yourself. Okay? You got to have dry powder sitting on the sideline so you can cost average down and get in when the timing is right. You got to know when the economy is hurting because people's jobs have been going away due to AI, or they'll blame it on AI when really their company is just not doing as well as they think it should. There's cost cutting in the government, which is taking away people's jobs, which is money that free flows into the economy. Whether those people should have had jobs to begin with or not is beside the point. It helps prop up the economy. So when people lose their jobs, they gotta liquidate their 401ks and live on. They got to cut back and tighten their belts. Okay, at the same time that all these companies are raising their prices. Hulu's about to raise their price to like $12.99 a month. Okay, wow, people are cost cutting. What do you think is going to happen? There goes Hulu. Hulu's out the window. That's the first thing I'm losing if I got to try to eat, okay? Car lots are just packed with cars. They can't sell them. I see car dealers whining online that they are getting lowballed offers. Well, guess what? Your cars are priced twice what they should be and twice what they were 5 years ago, and that shit might have just kept on going during COVID when somebody couldn't find a car. But now there's a billion cars out there, so you can't just keep trying to get the same price. So people's car payments are off the chain. They're going to quit paying for their car before they quit paying for their house. So a lot of people have been staving off foreclosure because of programs that the government had out where they couldn't get foreclosed on. But guess what? Those programs are coming to an end. So they weren't paying their mortgages. Instead, they were out buying cars and eating fancy dinners. But you can't keep doing that forever because now you're going to lose your house. What's going to happen when they lose their house? Well, that's going to be a house that's sitting there vacant, and that money is not going to be going into the economy either. So we're really on the brink here. And can we move past it? Can they kick the can further down the road? Sure. I've seen them do it before. But are they going to? You and I don't know. So we can't just be full bore 3x long on the SPY in times like this. Tighten up your belt.